will be your last! Make this fight count! It will be your last! Ha!
You delay in returning me to Nashor and the precious Lady Erebeth. Hurry with your looting and let this farce come to an end.
Desther's punishment was brutal.
So, we meet again. The others
Please
have told
listen.
me Erebeth
I
had
have some
recruited you to
very
find
important
cultists.
information for
I
you.
can't say I'm surprised. You've acquired quite the reputation
Please
for yourself,
listen.
haven't you?
I have some very important information for you. Please listen. I have some very important information for you. Please listen. I have some very important information for you. Please listen. I have some very important information for you. Please listen. I have some very important information for you. Please listen. I have some very important information for you. Please listen. I have some very important information for you. It is good to see you here in Port Llast, my friend. If we are to have any luck in tracking down this strange cult behind the plague, it will be with your aid, I am sure. I do not know how much you have been told about Lord Nashor's orders. I shall help you understand whatever I can, certainly. How I feel is unimportant next to the mission we have been given. Please allow me to explain what is required of us. You know, of course, that Desther and Fenthic were associated with some manner of religious cult that was behind the Wailing Death in the city. We know so little about this cult, and it would be foolish in the extreme to suppose that simply because their activities in Neverwinter have been stopped, that they have been defeated. Lord Nashor commands that we track down the headquarters of this cult and discover their plans and stop them before another atrocity is committed. Erin Gend, Lord Nashor's spy master, is here in Port Llast to help us do this, and has brought reports of many strange activities throughout the Northern Lands. It is possible that agents of the cult may be behind some of these activities. If so, we may be able to find them and discover where their base is located. Your aid in this will prove invaluable. Aye, it is, as I am sure you can well imagine. Fenthic, my only love, dead at the hands of my lawful liege. His true murderers, however, lie invisibly beyond my reach. I wish, with such fervor that it frightens me, to see those allies of Desther pay, to see Tyr visit them with terrible justice. I am a paladin of Tyr, sworn to uphold good and justice, yet somehow I cannot condemn Fenthic in my heart. He meant only to do what he saw was his duty, I am sure of it. But as a paladin, I am supposed to hold myself above such earthly concerns. I am supposed to know my path and be sure of it, just as Fenthic did. Or thought he did. But I should not be distracting you from your task. My own problems are unimportant and of no interest to you, I am sure. Please, forgive me. It is just that Fenthic's fate could have been mine, or yours, or anyone's. How do you know that the path you walk is the correct one? I have never questioned my faith or my duty before, but neither did Fenthic. I feel doubt, and I am ashamed to admit it. Perhaps I am merely wallowing in my sorrow. Perhaps I know my path better than I think I do, but I am no longer sure. Is it wrong for me to think such thoughts? Yet I have no answers, only more questions. Thank you for allowing me to unburden my heart, but perhaps it is best if I put these thoughts out of my head for now. The safety of Neverwinter relies on your mission, and my duty regarding that is more than clear. Let us speak of that instead. I would suggest you speak to Erengend and find out where to focus your efforts in finding evidence of the cult.
Yes? Is there something you need? Yes? Is there something you need? Yes? Is this...
I greet you.
Hello there!
I greet you.
Huh?
Hey, I suppose you're here to sign up, are you? I've no time for a new apprentice, however, so off you go.
Hail, friend. You were instrumental in ridding Neverwinter of the wailing death, I understand. Allow me to congratulate you on a job well done. You have shown yourself to be possessed of remarkable courage and resourcefulness. That is fortuitous, for both these qualities will be needed if you are to complete your mission. But that is not how we should begin. I am known as Aaron Genn, and I have served our Lord Nasher for some time. Hopefully, I may be of similar use to you now. Indeed, I know who you are. There are many who whisper your name right now, and it is my business to listen to them all. My place lies in the shadows. I have many eyes and ears throughout the northern lands, and it is my place to inform Lord Nasher where the Vipers lay in wait. If only I had foreseen the actions of this cult, I could have prevented the disaster. But these men move skillfully out of my sight and hearing. Instead of recriminating myself for my failure, I must do what I can to repair the damage. And that is to offer what information I have to you, so that you may find where this new nest of vipers hides. Erebeth has informed you of where you must search, yes? She has told you of how you may root out these fiends? Unearthing the cult will not be a simple task. What few whispers I have collected, however, have allowed me to narrow your search to this region. It is vital that the cult's exact location be found, and that we are certain any leads we discover are not attempts at deception. Erebeth will not be satisfied until we find at least 2 separate leads that point to the same locale. That is your task. I do know of one possible lead for you. There has been strange news regarding a series of caves that lie north of Port Llast. Investigation may reveal the cult to be hidden there. If not, there are other avenues for you to investigate. The city of Luskan to the north, Neverwinter Wood to the east, and the wildlands of the South Road. I suggest, however, that looking into the caves first would still be your wisest choice. The caves are in the hills to the north of Port Llast, near the Green Griffin Inn. They have long been used by humanoid tribes of orcs, bugbears, and the like. They aren't usually a concern. In recent months, however, I have received word that these various humanoid creatures have been raiding the roads south of Luskan. This would not be unusual, except that the creatures now seem very organized and, I hear, are being led by humans. This leads me to believe the cult may be involved. That will be for you to determine. Just keep this in mind. No matter what you find there, Erebeth will wish 2 firm leads on the cult's location before she will act. We cannot afford a mistake. Have you a question for me then, my friend? Aye. What would you have of me? That is a curious question, my friend. Nor does it have a simple answer if the truth be known, and is not a tale that I care to often tell. As you wish, my friend. Though I'll not be held responsible should you nod off during the telling of it. Let me see. Perhaps it is best if I ask you a question first. You are a person of your god, are you not? How is it that you came into your calling? Was it an accident? Was it born purely of talent? Do you believe you were fated to be what you are? Fate is an odd thing, wouldn't you agree? Crystal clear when behind you, yet evasive and unknowable when before you. I myself started life as a slave in the southern deserts of Kalimshan. Never would I have foreseen that I might become who I am today. I knew of the lush and wild jungles of my homeland, Chult, only through the bedtime tales of my mother. I have never laid eyes upon its shore. My mother was owned by a most vicious and cruel caliph. As a slave child, one learns to stay out of sight and to move silently, lest one be beaten. Moreover, I learned to listen. I listened to the chatter of the servants, the bored talk of the guards. For many, many years, I was the shadow in the caliph's halls. For all my hiding, however, I proved of no use to anyone but myself. I could not save my mother when the caliph beat her to death for spilling a tankard of his mead, for instance. Aye, though in truth it was I who learned the lesson. I blamed myself for not warning my mother, for not stopping the caliph's blow. In grief and anger, I stabbed and killed the caliph, and was subsequently chased into the streets of Kalipur. I fled into the shadows of the city, and was not alone there. I found many who I will call allies and not friends, for we acted in unison only to survive. The law pursued me, so always I remained hidden and listened as I once had. The fact that I was a thief to remain alive did not help, and eventually even the shadows of the city were no longer safe for me. I sought passage out of the city, and eventually a captain took pity on me and gave me a position aboard his ship. Perhaps you have heard of Randall the Red?
Aye, that he was. A pirate whose reputation along the Sword Coast was more than deserved. I joined his crew, though I was no pirate in truth. I was not fond of drink as the other sailors were, and instead spent my time at each port making new contacts and listening. Over the years, Randall grew to depend on my skill. He gave me gold to establish informants throughout the coast, and I heard news the instant it happened. It was I who kept Randall safe and one step ahead of his pursuers, for always would I know before the chase was on us. I was his master of spies, though I would not have put a name to it at the time. I was grateful for Randall's kindness, for despite his reputation, he was an easy man to like. I was not fond of the looting and pillaging Randall indulged in, and did my best to subtly steer him away from the worst of it. Randall knew what I was doing, and permitted it only because I was otherwise invaluable to him. He cared not if I cringed and turned a cheek when the crew plied the worst of their bloody trade. As the years passed, I came into a certain amount of my own fame along the Sword Coast. My life was my life, and I was satisfied with it, and discharged my duty as best I knew. It was not until I encountered Lord Nasher that my life would change forever. That, however, is another tale. Ask me of it sometime, my friend. Ha ha ha! Perhaps another time, my friend. You made for a fine audience. Back to more important matters. Is there something you needed? Aye, I shall hope that the gods keep you safe, my friend.
Greetings.
No.
Done and done. Done and done.
Hello there.
Done and done. Fair enough. Sorry. Done and done.
Hello.
I greet you.
Hello.
I greet you.
Hello. Hail to ye! Hail to ye!
Thanks so much for helping me out, Hillar.
Can I help you?
Wow! They told me you had a fine face, but gosh, you're the hero of Neverwinter, that much is sure.
Don't worry, young Ander. This will work out yet. Everything happens for a reason, it does.
Thanks so much for helping me out, Hillar.
Can I help you?
Boy, where's my drink?
Hail to ye!
Don't worry, young Ander. This will work out yet. Everything happens for a reason, it does.
Thanks so much for helping me, Al-Hilor. Hello there. Is there something the matter? Did you have something to ask of me?
Al-Hilor, Port Llast's only anti-lycanthropic merchant, at your service. Come one, come all, defend yourself against the legend of the Black Wolf. Ha ha! Don't worry, young Ander. This will work out yet. Everything happens for a reason, it does.
Thanks so much for helping me, Al-Hilor.
Greetings to you. It is rare we see new faces come to drink with us at the Alliance Inn.
This will work out yet. Everything happens for a reason, it does.
Thanks so much for helping me, Al-Hilor.
Don't worry, young Ander. This will work out yet. Everything happens for a reason, it does.
Thanks so much for helping me, Al-Halar.
This will work out yet. Everything happens for a reason, it does.
Thanks so much for helping me, Al-Halar.
Strangers coming, taking a job.
Don't worry, young Ander. This will work out yet. Everything happens for...
Well, hello, sir. I don't recognize you. You must be new in these parts. Fair enough. Done and done.
Welcome to the shop, as I like to say. I am Eltura Subtil, and a finer collection of wares you are not apt to find.
Greetings.
Can I help you?
Hail to ye!
Hello there to you. My name is Ballard. I'm looking for someone interested in a dangerous mission. Might you be interested?